So, Don Brothers episode 16, Darkness Switch. This episode was a Gold Ranger / Jiro focused episode where Jiro has just joined the team and he's trying to fit in. And although this episode was wacky and goofy and had a lot of silly gags in it, it does sort of give Jiro some character development moving forward and what he's probably going to be like in future episodes where he wants to earn Momotaro's respect because he wants to be his successor and wants to be just like him. But not only that, we also got to see Jiro's Taigira Dora and his Don Dorogoku Alta, which his Alta form I've always liked ever since I saw the toy listing of it because it's a Chinese mythical dragon based on like Shenron or Shenlong, that Dragon Ball / Journey to the West vibes it's got going for it. So I really do like its Alta design where it's that green dragon that gives me the Dragon Ball vibes. But his changer is also really cool too, because that's probably going to turn him into his Silver Ranger form later down the line, which someone's probably going to be like, wait, a spoiler for everyone, which, if you've seen the leaks, you've seen the toy listings and stuff like that, you kind of know he's going to turn into the Gold / Silver Ranger. So, this episode, like I said, was a Jiro-focused episode, but not only that, it sort of set more stages for the Momotaro and the Sonoi rivalry they've got going for him, where Momotaro learns that Sonoi is the one that saved him, so they kind of acknowledge that, they nod heads, and they just walk away from each other, so that's where that lies at the end of this episode, or during this episode. Now, going back to the Gold Ranger thing with Jiro, he's put into the opening song of the show moving forward, and he is so weirdly placed in this opening. Some of it they filmed new footage for some dance sequences. Some of it they didn't, and they're like, fuck it, let's just put him in wherever. So there's this moment where they do one of the dances, and he just slides in there, keyframes into the opening, and because there's no room for him, they just make him dance like hanging upside down on the screen, which is probably going to be my running gag for this episode. I'm probably going to have a PNG of an upside down Don Gorogoku. So, if you get the reference, you get the reference. But either way, we see him in the opening and we get to see his little dance. And like I said, some of it is newly filmed. Some of it they just sort of green screen and put him in wherever they can fit him, which is kind of funny. So, like I mentioned at the start of the review, the whole concept of the first half of this episode is Jiro sort of trying to fit in and sort of help his teammates out. At the start of the episode, he's helping out Momotaro at work, at his delivery place, and he's copying everything he does, sort of the monkey see, monkey do. And you kind of see that when everyone sits down for lunch and you have like a shot-by-shot recreation of them sort of doing the same thing as they sit down to eat. And eventually Momotaro's like, cut that out, stop it. So eventually, Jiro decides to help out the others, and there are some really good gags when he does it, I will say that, because he's not helping. It's one of those situations where I'm trying to help you, but I just make everything worse and annoy people around me. And I think the gag that got a kick out of me is when he tried helping Haruka, and he draws his own little manga, and his response to Haruka is, hey, want me to plagiarize this? And she's like, get out, just leave me alone. So then he annoys the other teammates, and the other gag that got a kick out of me is when he sort of interferes with Inu Brothers sort of fighting the monster of the week, which I'll get to in a bit. So he sort of walks up to Inu Brother and puts a bowl of dog food down, and somehow Inu Brother can't control himself because apparently he's got dog instincts when he's in this form and starts eating the food, and he's like saying paw, and he puts a paw out. So it's this really weird, silly gag that when Inu Brother's transformed into his dog form, he's got those dog-like traits. So I wonder if that's the case for the other Don brothers and stuff like that. So maybe Saru Brother's gonna ape out at one point and go crazy like a gorilla. I don't know. No, I don't think he's a gorilla. I think he's a baboon. I don't know. I forget. But either way, that was a really funny gag. So the monster of the week, it's based on Zyuranger, and the guy that gets turned into the Monster of the Week is a gamer, a Twitch streamer, and the reason why he goes into the monster form is because he loses at the game and he gets trolled in the chat, which was really funny, like the messages he was getting. Like, it was like some top tier banter that he was getting in the chat when he was being harassed by his viewers. Like, I'm probably going to have it on screen, the screenshot of what they were saying, but it got a laugh out of me, because it's like probably what Toei think that, people say when you fail at a game, or when you get, like, trolled online. They're like, oh, what's all the hip things that gamers are saying online? So, here's what they're saying, and it got a laugh out of me. But yeah, the Monster of the Week suit design was pretty cool, based on Joranger. It's got that Tyrannosaurus sword look going for him. But at the end of the episode, when the Monster of the Week is destroyed, it turns into the Joranger gear with Tyrannoranger, but then when Jiro holds it, it turns into Dragon Ranger Barai. So next week's episode, if you watch the preview, spoilers, because someone screamed at me in the comment section that I talked about the preview at the end of the episode. Spoilers, he's going to turn into Dragon Ranger, Green Ranger, MMPR Green, everyone's favorite, which will probably make the thumbnail. No doubt about it. So, because Jiro gets rejected hard by Momotaro, where Momotaro says, "You're not my successor, you're my companion," it sort of breaks his little heart, and he has his dreams shattered, and after that, he turns into a villain for a little bit, because the whole preview of this week's episode from last week is they were teasing that the Gold Ranger was going to turn evil and go to the dark side because he was attacking all his teammates, but although we do have some really cool fight scenes where Momotaro is sort of attacking his teammates and stealing their glasses, it was some really interesting fight scenes to see the actor sort of ham it up. Well, it was really goofy and really cheesy to see him ham it up and do all this dialogue and put on this evil voice where he sounded dark and mysterious and cruel, where he sounded growly in his voice. But either way, the fight scenes were pretty cool when he took on Oni's sister and the others, and when he fought Momotaro. That was really cool. But then at the end of the episode, he blames it on the Monster of the Week turning him evil like this, which I don't know if that's true or not. If that was the case, I think the dude just made an excuse because he was heartbroken by Momotaro rejecting him. So yeah, that was Donbrothers episode 16. I don't know what else I can say about this episode. There was some stuff with Kijino and his wife Miho, where she was the inspiration from the fight of this episode, but every time they cut to them, I do wonder when the mood is going to change and we're going to see her possessed by the Beast Shield that we saw like 6 episodes ago. So I do wonder when that plotline is going to come back into play, but the more they hang on it, the more they're sort of building up to the big reveal of her sort of turning evil and tricking everyone. So I can't wait for them to get to that piece of plot twists, but either way, fun episode, I really enjoyed it, really silly, really wacky, and once again, Donbrothers is making me come back weekly. I love talking about it, I love reviewing it, you guys are listening and watching, and I appreciate that. So with that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that good stuff. Special thanks to all the members such as Swagger4 and Andrew McCoyle. If you want to get your name shouted out like these guys over here, hit the join button and become a Patreon supporter for special perks and stuff like that on the channel. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care. Bye. Thank you.